Opening, it started so quietly. Martha was 67, vibrant, active, and generally healthy. She cherished her independence, frequently joining her walking group, tending her beloved garden, and attending community events. Yet recently, subtle shifts started quietly disrupting her day's changes easy to ignore, but gradually stealing her joy. Initially, Martha brushed off these small discomforts as inevitable signs of aging. Little did she know, her body was gently signaling something significant, a magnesium deficiency. She thought aging was supposed to feel a little heavier, but was this normal? Her usual bounce felt dulled. Her smiles came slower. Her steps slightly unsure. It wasn't pain, not really. Just something missing. What if what we call just getting older is sometimes our body asking for help? This is the story of how Martha listened to those whispers and what happened when she did. Section 1. Sleepless Nights. It started slowly. Martha, once a sound sleeper, began waking in the middle of the night. At first, she thought it was the late tea she'd had or a particularly busy day. But even after cutting out caffeine and following a relaxing bedtime routine, the pattern continued. Each night, she'd stir at 2 a.m., her mind foggy, her body restless. The darkness felt heavier. She'd stare at the ceiling, frustrated. Why couldn't she just fall back asleep like before? Fatigue crept in the next day like a shadow she couldn't shake. Her once energetic mornings became sluggish. Even her beloved morning walks felt like chores. She turned to online forums and quietly searched, "Why can't I sleep after 65?" Among the endless advice, one thing stood out: magnesium deficiency. She learned that magnesium helps regulate melatonin and supports deep, restorative sleep. A 2022 study found that nearly 17% of older adults experience poor sleep due to low magnesium levels. Could this be her missing link? Martha wasn't sure yet, but the idea lingered. It was strange how something so essential could go unnoticed for so long. Have you ever brushed off sleepless nights as just aging? Maybe your body is trying to tell you something more. Section 2. Unexpected muscle cramps. At first, it was just a slight tightness, a twinge in her calf while reaching for a garden tool. But soon, Martha found herself pausing during simple tasks, rubbing her leg, stretching awkwardly, wincing. Gardening, once her sanctuary, became a source of tension. The joy of feeling soil in her hands was now punctuated by sudden, sharp cramps that caught her off guard. She began avoiding certain activities, fearing another painful jolt. One afternoon, while walking with her group, her calf seized mid-step. The pain was brief but intense, leaving her breathless. Concerned friends surrounded her. "Maybe it's just dehydration," one suggested. "Or maybe potassium," another offered. Later at home, she dug deeper. Magnesium appeared again and again. It was essential for muscle relaxation, nerve function, and cellular repair. A 2021 clinical review highlighted that approximately 23% of seniors regularly experience muscle cramps linked to magnesium deficiency. She was stunned. Could this be the answer? Was her balanced diet missing something vital? She reviewed her meals, yes, plenty of vegetables, lean protein, but very few nuts, seeds, or dark leafy greens, the magnesium-rich foods. The deficiency was hiding in plain sight. She remembered how her grandmother used to say, "It's the little things that matter." This little mineral might be one of them. Have you ever experienced muscle cramps without warning? Maybe your body's missing a quiet but essential piece of the puzzle. Section 3. Constant fatigue. Fatigue crept into Martha's life like a quiet fog, slow, persistent, and hard to define. Tasks that once energized her now drained her. Folding laundry felt like a marathon, climbing stairs, a full-body workout. Even brewing her morning tea took longer, as if time itself had thickened. Family noticed. Her daughter asked gently, "Mom, are you sleeping enough?" Martha nodded, forcing a smile. She didn't want to worry anyone. But deep down, she knew this wasn't just being a little tired. She began skipping events she once loved. Her gardening club, Sunday family lunches, even her book group. The energy wasn't there. The spark had dimmed. Her cheerful phone calls became short messages. Her calendar, once full of color, became quiet and sparse. One afternoon, reading in her sunroom, she dozed off unintentionally. Startled awake, she realized it wasn't the first time. It was happening more and more sudden waves of exhaustion, even after a full night's rest. The fatigue felt heavy, not just physical, but emotional too. In a journal entry she later reread, she had scribbled, "I feel like I'm disappearing into stillness." Her research led her again to magnesium. She learned this humble mineral plays a crucial role in converting food into energy at the cellular level. Without enough magnesium, fatigue becomes chronic, even when everything else seems normal. She found a study showing that approximately 21% of seniors with unexplained fatigue showed improved energy levels after increasing magnesium intake. That number stuck with her. It wasn't just exhaustion. It was her body asking for support in the only way it knew how. If you've ever felt exhausted for no clear reason, know that you're not alone. Sometimes the answer isn't more sleep, it's better support for your body. If this part resonates with you, give it a like and subscribe to hear more stories that quietly change lives. Section 4. Mental Fog. It was the little things that started slipping first. Where were her reading glasses? Did she already feed the cat? Martha found herself retracing steps, double-checking appointments, and reading the same page in her novel again and again. She laughed it off as just senior moments. But beneath the chuckles was a growing frustration. She was a sharp woman, organized, thoughtful. Now her thoughts felt like foggy mirrors, blurred and slow to respond. She once left her keys in the freezer. Another time, she forgot her best friend's birthday. Martha began questioning herself. Is this how it starts? Is this memory loss? Her fear wasn't just forgetfulness, it was losing her independence. Determined to learn more, she once again turned to research. Magnesium came up again, and this time in relation to brain function. She discovered studies linking magnesium to improved memory and mental clarity in older adults. One report from 2020 noted that around 26% of seniors experienced enhanced cognitive sharpness after correcting magnesium deficiencies. It wasn't just a mineral, it was a message. For Martha, this realization brought a mixture of relief and urgency. Maybe this wasn't the beginning of decline, but a warning her body was trying to whisper before shouting, "No CTA here, just a moment of reflection." Because sometimes the brain's silence is the body's loudest call for help. Section 5. Anxiety creeping in. She didn't recognize the worry at first. It just quietly moved in. Martha had always been steady, calm, a voice of reason among her friends. But lately, she felt herself shrinking inside. Small things made her chest tighten. She'd overthink a phone call, worry about weather reports, feel unease during social events she used to enjoy. She dismissed it as stress or aging nerves. It's just part of getting older, she told herself. But the uneasiness didn't pass. In fact, it deepened. There was no single trigger, just a constant hum of dread beneath everything. Sleep didn't help. Rest didn't restore. It was like carrying a bag of invisible stones everywhere. She confided in a friend who quietly nodded, saying, "I feel that too sometimes." That validation sparked a search. Martha learned that magnesium affects the nervous system directly. Deficiencies can lead to increased cortisol levels, contributing to anxiety and mood shifts. Studies estimate that about 19% of older adults with anxiety may be unknowingly magnesium deficient. That small statistic struck her deeply. She wasn't broken, she wasn't alone, and most importantly, she wasn't powerless. Have you ever felt unexplained anxiety? Share in the comments. Your story might help someone feel seen. Section 6. A Doctor's Insight. It was time for answers. Martha scheduled a visit with Dr. Lavra Patterson, a geriatric specialist known for her attentive listening and calm demeanor. Dr. Patterson listened patiently as Martha described her symptoms: restless sleep, muscle cramps, overwhelming fatigue, mental fog, creeping anxiety. She nodded gently and then said, "Martha, you're not alone. I see these symptoms often, and they're frequently linked to a simple, overlooked issue: magnesium deficiency." She explained that as we age, the body's ability to absorb and retain magnesium declines. Medications, especially diuretics and proton pump inhibitors, can further deplete magnesium levels, making deficiencies more common than people realize. Magnesium is vital, Dr. Patterson continued. It supports muscle and nerve function, regulates blood sugar and pressure, aids sleep, balances mood, and helps maintain cognitive clarity. When it's low, the effects ripple through the entire body. She shared that nearly 28% of her senior patients show signs of magnesium deficiency, and many don't realize it until the symptoms become disruptive. Dr. Patterson didn't just prescribe a supplement. She encouraged Martha to adjust her diet, adding leafy greens, seeds, whole grains, and legumes. She also advised starting with a low-dose magnesium citrate supplement taken consistently and monitoring her symptoms weekly. For the first time in a long time, Martha left a medical appointment not feeling worried but hopeful. Section 7. The Quiet Transformation. Change didn't happen overnight, but slowly, almost imperceptibly, Martha felt different. Her sleep deepened. Her energy returned. The cramps faded. Conversations felt clear again. The tension in her chest loosened. The world felt lighter. Her family noticed. "You're glowing," her granddaughter whispered one Sunday afternoon, hugging her tighter than usual. Martha smiled, not just at the words, but at the feeling of being truly present again. She knew it wasn't magic. It was attention, listening. One simple change, made with consistency and care, had created ripples across her life. Reflecting on her journey, Martha felt a deep urge to share what she had learned. And if this story resonated with you, if you've ever felt like your body was speaking in quiet whispers, you might want to see what else it could be saying. Watch next. 7 foods that secretly hurt joint health after 60, and discover what else could be silently holding you back. Because sometimes healing begins with awareness. You're not alone in this journey. Like, comment, and subscribe to stay connected with stories that honor your strength and whisper hope into your day.